Hello everybody, it's Tuesday, perhaps. My name's Emily Fawell and I'm a nutritional therapist. My business is called Fawell People, and over the last few weeks I've been sharing ideas about how to boost your immune system through nutrition and lifestyle. So today I'm talking about snacks. We've been through breakfast, lunch and dinner, and also snacks are important. So before I start giving you some ideas about snacks, I just wanted to explain the importance of snacks during the day. So one of the things we need to try and avoid at this time is over-consuming sugar. So as I've explained on other posts over the last few weeks, sugar suppresses our immune system. So at the moment we want to be consuming as little sugar as possible. And snacks is one way of doing that. So if you have regular meals, if you go for more than 4 hours for most people, your blood sugars will drop and then you'll start craving sugar. So having a snack can prevent that from happening. So we want our blood sugars to be stable and consistent throughout the day, because as soon as they drop, you're going to be craving sugar. And the reason for that is that the brain only functions on glucose. So it's your brain that's going to be asking you to provide it with a very quick source of sugar if you've let your blood sugars drop. So snacks are really important to keep your blood sugar stable, and we want to be avoiding sugar because that is suppressing our immune system. So in terms of some ideas about what to have for snacks, I'll just go back and talk about when you should be snacking. I think for most of us, the gap between breakfast and lunch is fairly manageable. Usually it's mid-afternoon that we should be considering having a snack. And you want that snack to be a combination of protein and slow-releasing carbohydrate. So a great example of that would be something like oat cakes with hummus. So naans are great, and you want to be looking for rough oat cakes. And the reason they're called rough is that the oats are unrefined, so your body's going to do a lot of work to digest that and release the energy. If you get the milled ones, the oats have already been milled, therefore you've got to do less digestion and the energy is released more quickly. So always look for rough oat cakes. And they're so versatile, you could have lots of things on them, but what you're looking for is a source of protein to have with your oat cake, because your oat cake is carbohydrate. So you could have hummus on them, cheese, cottage cheese, pate. What else could you have? So as a sweeter snack, you could have nut butter. And again, it's about choosing the right type of nut butter. So I didn't buy this. My partner bought this. So Whole Earth is a great brand because it hardly has any sugar in it. In fact, the sugar content is 4.2 grams, which is much less than conventional peanut butter brands. But this is the mistake here. Try and buy crunchy when you buy peanut butter. If it's smooth, again, the nuts have been broken down, so your body's got to do less digestion to get the energy out, and your blood sugars will rise more quickly. So always get crunchy peanut butter, but Whole Earth is a good brand. I'm not very good with this backwards thing. A better brand is but slightly better, is Meridian. So Meridian, again, they don't, unlike Whole Earth, they don't use palm oil in their butter. It's just 100% nuts. So again, look for the crunchy version, not the smooth like I'm holding up. And Meridian do a really nice range of peanut butters, or nut butters, I should say. You can get cashew, hazelnut, almond, as well as peanut. Another thing they do, so I know people like Nutella, but they're a much better alternative. So Meridian do a cocoa and hazelnut butter, which has much less sugar in it than Nutella. So if you've got kids that love Nutella, this is a really nice swap to kind of wean them off the sugar-laden Nutella. So all of those things would be really delicious on oat cakes. Another kind of regular type of snack would be a piece of fruit, but always offset the fruit with a handful of nuts. So fruit is carbohydrate, it's naturally high in sugar, so you want to offset that release of sugar by having some protein with it, and nuts are fantastic. So any kind of nut apart from peanuts is great, and you want them to be raw, so not roasted or salted. So that's, yes, a piece of fruit and some nuts. And again, think about the type of fruit you're eating. You want to be avoiding tropical fruit like bananas, pineapple, mango, because they're really high in natural sugar, as are grapes, but all the other fruit is fantastic. Another nice snack would be something like a pot of yogurt and some berries, but again, make sure the yogurt is live, plain and full fat, so it'll keep you fuller for longer because of the fat content. And you could have that with some berries. I've mentioned before about frozen berries, but really versatile and cheap. But then with the berries, you've got the carbohydrate, the yogurt is your protein. And the antioxidants in the berries are great for your immune system, and the live bacteria in the yogurt is good for your immune system as well, because it's encouraging the proliferation of good gut flora. There's a question just come up about peanuts. Peanuts aren't actually like other nuts. They're not in the same family. They're legumes rather than nuts, and they're actually quite inflammatory. They're quite high in a fat called arachidonic acid, whereas all the other nuts are really good for you and full of good fats. And the other thing would be, if you are one of those lucky people who has more time on their hands now, would be to bake. Oh, I haven't got it with me, but I'll put it on the comments. But when you're baking, try and find recipes that are as low in sugar as possible, possibly using fruit as a sweetener, and where the grain that you're using, or the flour, is as whole as possible. So, replace regular flour with spelt flour. Use things like almond flour, that will be very high in protein. My favourite baking book is Love Bake Nourish, and she doesn't use refined flours or refined sugar, but like flapjacks would be great. So if you're using jumbo oats, again, your body's got to do a lot of work to extract the energy from them, and it'll keep your blood sugars balanced. Another snack that's a big favourite of mine is would be dark chocolate. So dark chocolate is relatively low in sugar compared to milk chocolate. It's also full of antioxidants and iron. But again, if you could have this with a handful of nuts, you're introducing some protein to offset the sugar in the dark chocolate. And then I suddenly thought, why not talk about things you can buy in the shops? So I've raided my own cupboard. This huge unopened box of Nature Valley bars. These aren't the best thing out there, but they're much better than other options. So they're just made with oats. Again, if you could buy one that had nuts in it, that would be a bit better. But if your kids need this kind of snack, then that's kind of one of the better choices on the market. But if you were thinking about how much sugar's in this, there's 28 grams per 100 grams of sugar, so it's quite a high sugar snack, although much better for you than, a bag of crisps or a Kit Kat or a Mars bar. That Nature Valley also do a couple of other types of bar. This one, obviously, they're packing in the protein with this range, which makes it much better for your blood sugar levels. The sugar content in this is at 15.5 grams, so a bit lower than the Nature Valley bars, but much more balanced because you've got those nuts in there. They also do these that are like they're like oat sandwiches. So like sandwiches, they're like 2 oat biscuits with some chocolate in the middle. Again, quite high in sugar, 26 grams, but much better than some of the other options out there. And they're again made with oats, so slower releasing than flour. And then Grays have quite a few options out there. They've got a whole range of high protein bites. They're really tasty, lots of nutritious ingredients in them. but do be warned. I mean, this one's still 20 grams of sugar per 100 grams, but nice nutritious ingredients in there. And then this type, the Wow Bakes, are low in sugar compared to everything else we've looked at. So there's 13 grams in here. And again, they've got protein in there in the form of nuts. So when you're next in the supermarket and you've got the time, unless you're on a limit, have a look at the different snack options, and you're really looking at that. How many grams of sugar per 100 grams? And ideally, you're looking to get as close as 10 as possible. And that goes for anything that you're buying that's processed. So hopefully I've given you some ideas about snacks there. As I said, I'll put a link to the Love Bake Nourish book, which is all healthy baking if you have got a bit more time on your hands. Yes, and that's it from me for today. So hopefully that was useful. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about drinks and what drinks could boost your immune system. So thanks for listening. And if you have got any questions, please put them in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.